here we're asked to solve for a triangle. To solve triangle ABC, we want to find all missing sides and all missing angles. So we'll be given a couple things about the triangle. We know angle A is 46 degrees, so we can go ahead and label that in here. And we know side B is 8. Now, this lowercase b means that it's the side. And where side B goes in our drawing is we want to locate angle B, and it actually is going to be opposite. It's going to be across the triangle to side B. So this is where 8 is. Now, side A will be opposite of angle A right here, and side C will be opposite of angle C right there. So we have to find angle B, side A, and side C. So to get angle B, that's one of the most straightforward ones. We just want to remember that all three angles in a triangle will add up to 180. So if we take the 46 degrees plus the 90 degrees that we already know and get 136, and then we just subtract that from 180. And we get 44 degrees. Alright, so we have angle B. Now to get side A and side C, we're going to set up one of those trig equations. So a nice way to approach this is just pick one angle to work with. One angle actually that's not angle C. So I'm going to go ahead and say let's work with angle B. And now that we have the angle, we can go ahead and label our opposite side, which is over here, our hypotenuse, and then the adjacent side. So now that we have everything labeled according to angle B, we want to go ahead and let's solve for either the adjacent side or the hypotenuse side. So maybe I'd say, all right, we'll go ahead and solve for the hypotenuse. So we're looking for a trig function that uses the hypotenuse, because that's what we want, and also uses the opposite side because that's what we know. We know the opposite side is side 8, or has a length of 8 over here. So what uses hypotenuse and opposite? That's the SO from SOHCAHTOA, so this is our sine. So we set up sine of our angle, which this is all in terms of that 44 degrees, equals opposite over hypotenuse, so it's going to be 8 over C. And now we can solve for C. So if we want to set this up like a fraction to cross multiply, we can say 8 times 1 is 8 equals sine of 44 times C. Divide both sides by sine of 44. And at this point, we can go to the calculator and do 8 divided by sine of 44. Now, because this is 44 degrees, you want to make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. So when we do that calculation, we get 11.5. So now we know side C is 11.5. So to find side A, we have a couple of options. We certainly could set up Pythagorean theorem because we have two sides of a right triangle. But just to see another, to look at another trig equation setup, I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, let's solve for the adjacent side. And we could use that opposite side again and the adjacent side. Now this is going to be TOA, so we can say that tan of our angle, which is 44, equals the opposite divided by the adjacent, so 8 over A. And now let's make this a fraction so we can cross multiply. We have 8 equals A times tangent of 44. Divide both sides by tangent of 44. Again, you want to make sure you are in degrees, and then we get side A to equal 8.3. So now we have solved for the entire triangle. We know all three angles and all three sides.